What's going on YouTube? Mike is back here. Today we're gonna talk about what kind of investing you can do in 2021 as a beginner. This video is gonna be useful for the people who's not knowing what the stock market is or what's the cryptocurrency all about. We're also going to discuss all the possible ways to invest your money. This is not going to be about get rich overnight thing.
It's just bought this new Lamborghini.
It's more you plant a seed, you water them, and you wait over years when it becomes growing. So why do people investing? Why not to keep money all the time on your bank account or in cash? So the biggest problem is inflation. For example, if you're holding US dollar, it might be a huge ice cube which is melting and losing value over time. United States printed more money recent months than the last 2 centuries. So basically when you invest in your money somewhere, you don't want them to be dependent on inflation. So there is a bunch of ways to invest your money. We're not going to talk about specifically the country. For example, the United States, they have a retirement plan for a 401k. We're going to look at the bigger picture. So I pointed out most popular ways of investing. It's the stock market, real estate, saving accounts, cryptocurrency, mutual funds, bonds, and commodities. So in this video, I'm not going to talk about every popular investing ways. So the real estate is quite complex topic and needs quite a lot of money to do an investing. So I'm going to skip it for now because I personally don't have any experience with real estate. Bank saving account is also a popular way of investing money, but it's also giving you 0.5% or 1.5% return, which is not a lot, to be honest. The usual inflation rate could be higher, so in the end you might not get any percent of return if you count the inflation. There is also a quite famous way is put the money into mutual fund. This is when a lot of investors put their money into some kind of pool and the money manager tries to invest this money into profitable assets and make the money a long term. Again, I haven't had any experience with this, so not much to talk about it. So let's talk about things I have done so far. The stock market. In my subjective opinion, I think the stock market is the best way to make money on your investments. If you don't know what the stock market is, it's basically a place where all public companies let you buy their piece of their company, calling share, and you can sell them and make money. So as I started talking about stock market, I should probably wear properly. Okay, now it's better. So I was born in a country that has no idea what the stock market is, and it's for everyone, it's like a black hole. Compared to the United States, I think every kid in the kindergarten, they already know what the stock market is all about. And I think their parents already investing their birthday money into some kind of index fund. So in a nutshell, the stock market working like that. You buying a stock, you holding it for some time, and then you selling it. And hopefully you're making money on the difference between you bought price and you sell price. And also don't forget about transaction fee when you're selling or buying the stock. And of course, taxes. It highly depends on the country where you're living, but basically you need to pay capital gain taxes. Pretty much all the financial experts in the stock market give you an advice, buy low, sell high. And if you're watching a video about stock market and the guy pulling up in the Lambo, it's just probably fake. The stock market is all about long term and not the short term. So definitely not get rich overnight thing, or even after 10 years. It's a long way. So if you're a complete beginner in the stock market, I suggest you to do the same as I did before. Just go to a Skillshare on this sweetest course. In the course, there are a breakdown of the stock market, how it works for a complete beginner. So definitely go and check it out. I will put it in the description. And with that link, you're gonna get 2 months for free. And as a beginner, I highly encourage you to exhaust all the free materials before buying any courses. So you can spend so much money on courses and then have no money to invest in. So I'd rather invest those money to the stock market. And all the financial coaches, they tend to say, yeah, you should invest your money in yourself. And then the very next minute, they're gonna pull up with a course for $1,000. The best way to make money, baby. So if you're starting out with the stock market, so the best tip possible is to start now, as soon as possible. If you're 16 and you're thinking about investing the money, oh yeah, I wish I could invest the money in my 16s. Most of the beginners, they underestimate the compounding effect. Compounding effect is the ability of an asset or easy term investment to generate earnings, which are then reinvested or remain invested with the goal of generating their own earnings. A lot of investors call it the eighth wonder of the world. So if you go and Google compounding calculator for stocks, you will find this nice website where you can calculate how much compounding you can gain. So let's say your initial deposit will be $1,000, and then your monthly contribution will be $100, and you're gonna let your investment sit for 20 years. And let's take the average percentage of return on the stock market, which is 10%. So in the end, you're gonna have $75,519 in your investment portfolio. And this is why it's called the eighth wonder of the world. Also, there is a bunch of YouTubers that are doing a lot of financial education videos. I'm gonna put them in the description. So in order to start investing in the stock market, you need to create a brokerage account. So the brokerage is basically a middle name between you and the stock market, and that allows you to buy and sell stocks. In the United States, it's pretty common and popular service called Robinhood. It's a commission-free brokerage. So there is not so much like Robinhood app in the Europe, but there is still some. So I personally use Revolut trading account and the Giro. Also, my tip is do not stress out while creating the trading account. There might be bunch of new words, agreements, and so on. So take your time to understand the risk you are putting in. Also, for the very beginner, some of the apps allow to paper trading. So what is a paper trading? It's basically when you have a fake money on your trading account and you can invest this money. So you get some more understanding what the stock market is all about. And also you understand your personal behavior when the stock is up or the stock is down. So it allows you to experience the stock market without losing any real money. So I'm gonna share some more investing strategies in the stock market in the next videos. So do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you're not gonna miss it out. So the next investing type is smashing the like button. It very helps young YouTubers to get over the algorithm. So make sure to do it. So the next super trendy topic is cryptocurrency. It's basically a Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything else. The most popular cryptocurrency, and probably you have heard about it, is Bitcoin. Talking simply, a cryptocurrency or a Bitcoin, for example, is like a digital gold. So where does it came from? So the first cryptocurrency Bitcoin was developed in 2009 in the middle of financial crisis. It was the way to detach from mainstream banks and the government. Like I said previously, the Bitcoin is like a digital gold. So in order to get the gold, you need to extract it from the physical earth. And the same happening with the Bitcoin. But instead, you need some computational power in order to create it. And this process is called mining. And to simplify the mining process is basically when your computer is solving complex algorithm and then having a reward in Bitcoins. So you do a mining, solving the complex algorithm, and then you get a Bitcoin. But the problem here is that the algorithm is becoming harder and harder to solve, so you need more and more computational power. So currently there is a promises that it's gonna be only 21 million Bitcoins, and that's it. So currently around 18.5 million Bitcoins is already mined. And that means that's 2.5 million left to be mined. However, it's also possible that the Bitcoin protocol will be changed to allow a larger supply. And also, as I said, the algorithm becoming harder and harder to solve, there is an estimate that the final Bitcoin will be mined in 2140. And there might be a question coming around, and if the Bitcoin is just digital currency, who tracks the ownership of each Bitcoin? And this is where the blockchain technology come into place. So this is a software which store the ownership of each Bitcoin in decentralized way around million computers around the world. So in 10 years, Bitcoin raised in value in 9 million%. And of course, everyone wants to get this piece of pie. But it was a crazy volatile ride throughout the years. And there's also a bunch of sketchy companies that are trying to make money on that because no one understands what the Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, blockchain, what is this all about. And they also tend to promise 100% returns every day.
Be connected!
Also, I want to point out I'm not an expert in cryptocurrency field. There is bunch of other experts that I know what they're doing. I just actually started investing into cryptocurrency, and this is only a small part of my portfolio. The only thing I know is quite risky investment compared to the stock market. And the last way of investment I want to talk about today is commodities. This is an earth scarce resources like gold, silver, or oil. I like to quote Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's always saying the gold and the silver, it's God's money. So in order to invest your money in gold or silver, you can buy a coins. You can either buy it online or in the bank. With a physical gold, it's a bit tedious that you should have a space for it, or maybe rent out the space in the bank. And whenever you are relocating somewhere else in another country or in a city, you should carry it all around. So instead of carrying the physical gold, you can invest in digital gold, like I did with the Revolut banking. So as I check on Revolut website how the thing is working, the amount you see is backed up by real physical gold that we buy and hold with a secure financial institution. But also, as you can see, there's also a lot of risk that you can do with investing into digital gold. And as per my idea, there is much safer to invest into stock market than, for example, into other ones. And the very last point I want to talk about is the scam. As long as you show the Google that you have some money to invest, there's going to be a bunch of folks who want to take them. And I have a couple of tips how to avoid it. First of all, try to exhaust all the free resources that you have inside the internet. It might be YouTube, it could be Skillshare, whatever. Do not spend crazy amount of money on questionably reliable courses from financial advisors, etc. There is no silver bullet for investment or any kind of real life money glitch. And the second one, if somebody's saying he will make you rich, probably it's other way around. You're gonna make them rich with your money. Also, use your own brain and analyze the information you get. There could be a bunch of gurus that are trying to predict the future, but as per myself, future is not predictable. There is billion of variables that you cannot predict. And the last tip is do not forget how hardly you was working on getting this money. So do not do any crazy things as you risking to lose it all. Do not let your emotion runs your action. As the greatest investor of all time said, first rule, do not lose money. The second rule, do not forget about rule number 1. So that was all for today's video. I hope it was any kind of valuable for you and you hopefully start investing. If you do have any other investment types, just drop in the comments. You could help me and the others. And as usual, subscribe, like, and see you next week.